Hello, I'm Davia Chambers and this is Let's Talk Tobago. Thank you for joining us today at Island Hoppers Inn, Restaurant and Bar. This versatile property contains 4 one-bedroom apartments, 2 two-bedroom units and a restaurant and bar ready to cater to all your needs. Our show and tell starts after headlines of this week's top stories. Sargassum seaweed, a natural disaster. Over $200,000 awarded to those who give back to the community, and big plans for a CNG fuel station. Stay with us for these stories and more right after the break.
Going to Barbados? Why continue to pay high prices when you can get there for only US $231.95, all taxes included? Yes, you heard right. You can now travel to Barbados from Tobago for a mere US $231.95 on Gold's weekly service. So if you're going to Barbados for business, the beach, crop over, or attending university, stop wasting your money on those other high-priced airlines and get there for a fraction of the cost. To book, just log on to www.vogel.com.br. Barbados just got closer.
Hi, we're back with Let's Talk Tobago. The owners of Island Hoppers Inn, Restaurant and Bar boast of promoting Tobago's motto, clean, green, safe and serene. The villa is surrounded by large trees and flowers that are always well maintained. Our lead story this week, Sargassum seaweed. It's a national emergency and it's being removed from the beaches in a swift and responsible manner. Anika Springer has the reports.
It has taken over the island's beachfront. Seaweed can be spotted at Belgarden, Canaan, Buku Reef and Speyside. It's become a current occurrence, but more recently it's been washing ashore in massive amounts, enough to potentially damage Tobago's tourism-dependent economy and impact its residents. The THA recognizes this, so they're putting their heads together with the other affected organizations to deal with the issue.
We in the Tobago House of Assembly have taken the decision that that challenge is so daunting that we are treating it as an emergency, as a natural disaster. And therefore the same type of approach that we will use in treating with any natural disaster, that is the approach that we are going to be using going forward.
And right off, they began removing and disposing the seaweed at 2 locations within Speyside.
We'll be focusing on removing the sargassum seaweed from the beaches at Speyside and disposing of them at 2 locations in the Speyside area in a relatively responsible way. One of those locations is at Murchison. The other area would be the Belmont Road area.
The hotel and tourism industry on the island has been coping, although they've had complaints from guests over the presence and unpleasant smell of the seaweed. The association fears it might impact bookings, but its president remains optimistic.
Because the accumulation of it has started to increase as we've gone along. So this is why we're very pleased that we can now start moving forward with the THA's initiatives.
And because it's an emerging issue in the Caribbean, and there's a school of thought that it's linked to global warming, higher than normal temperatures and low winds, systems are being put in place for a long-term solution.
Since the 1980s, there would have been some farmers, not only in Tobago but in some of the other islands, who have been using the sargassum seaweed for agricultural purposes. And this has great demonstration value, but it has not happened on a scale that is large enough that would allow us to really make a significant dent into the problem that we are actually experiencing today. So we want to focus some of our energies in terms of research, in terms of investing in research, to see if we can upscale the demonstration value.
For its part, the THA hopes that collaboration at both the regional and inter-island levels will help the Assembly tackle this problem and bring relief to all. I'm Anika Springer for Let's Talk Tobago.
Island Hoppers is located within walking distance of one of Tobago's most beautiful beaches, Grafton. It also offers a spectacular view of the Caribbean Sea. And speaking of the sea, working together can solve problems, especially when the problem is in your backyard. The Speyside community came together to address concerns about the accumulating seaweed on their shore.
This easterly village is known for the beauty that lies on and offshore. Speyside is home to many reefs, and hotels and businesses located here use the panoramic ocean view of the blue waters of the Atlantic to attract visitors. It's easy to see why this is one of the most frequented tourist spots in Tobago, but also why residents are worried as this happens. Some of the big selling points of their village literally being covered by mats of sargassum seaweed. The Assembly knows how strategic Speyside is to the island's tourism, so they assembled a team to seek feedback on the issue.
We have to monitor what is coming up with the current and put, if it's fishnet or something, to trap it. And like as the guys are doing in Barbados, they have the special boat or whatever to take it up so that it would not come ashore and rotten.
To prevent it, use my idea. It's going to work. I tell you, take advice. Let this sink into the water and actually let this float. That actually what comes, go to lash on the galvanize, and it actually go.
I find the villagers to get together. Get some sandbag. One. Get something like the clothes basket that could drain the water out. Two. Get some mask for your face. Get some gloves. And let us try to put down some work in Speyside.
Just some of the many suggestions they heard, as the THA partners with communities and commit resources to tackle the problem in a holistic way. I'm Keishon Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
What is sargassum seaweed? Sargassum is one of 2 species of brown algae commonly found in the Caribbean. It doesn't attach to the ocean floor and its movements depend on ocean currents. Sargassum originates from the Sargasso Sea in the open North Atlantic Ocean near Bermuda, as well as the northern Gulf of Mexico. Its spread through the Caribbean is due to a rise in water temperatures and low winds, which affect ocean currents. Sargassum is not toxic to humans. As the old adage goes, it's better to give than to receive. And in our next story, the more you give, the more you get to give. But first, we have to take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Davia Chambers. In addition to Grafton Beach, a number of bars, restaurants, lounges, and even a tattoo parlor are mere steps away from island hoppers, ensuring that your stay has everything you need. In our next report, several organizations that work tirelessly for others saw great reward. Close to $250,000 were granted to these groups to help them continue the good work they're doing in Tobago.
Fire ravaged the Mount St. George residence last September, but the family of 9 who lived there will soon have their home rebuilt because Pamela Phillips received $100,000 from the Office of the Chief Secretary to help with the reconstruction. Though she was too emotional to speak, Ms. Phillips is quite thankful to the Assembly for giving her hope after such an ordeal. But there were other organizations receiving funds for their ongoing contribution towards the development of the island and its people. One of these organizations is the First Scarborough Boys Brigade. They got $12,000 to offset costs for a cultural trip to Guyana.
The kids really enjoyed and was able to share in a different culture, different life.
The Little Hearts Kid Care and Learning Center also received a check. They held a sports and family day last year, partially assisted by the Assembly, since they are one of the institutions on the island nurturing our children for the future.
We started 2 years ago with 8 children, and now we're up to 90-something children. And any support, your support like this is extremely helpful because we want to do more with them. The children are so impressionable that we We want to do things with them to let them know that they are little people but could make a big difference.
And the organization in charge of one of the biggest gospel concerts on the island, Dominion Promotions, got $100,000 for expenses incurred.
We have done it for 5 years, and the 5 years they have been contributing and supporting and ensuring, not only supporting, but ensuring that whatsoever contribution is given to us is well spent and utilized on the areas that we have highlighted on thus far.
Other groups receiving funds are Boval Cancer Diabetes Foundation, Youth for Christ, and Delaford SDA Church. I am Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
Here at Island Hoppers Restaurant, they often barbecue straight off this handmade brick grill, which adds that real, authentic grill taste customers desire. Okay, score one big for the environment. Plans are underway to get a clean energy fuel station, a good step in a clean, green Tobago and the expanding public transportation system.
CNG engines give it the same power, the same performance as the diesel engine.
You hear that advertisement repeatedly about the public transport system's CNG buses in Trinidad. But what is CNG? It's compressed natural gas, it's odorless, colorless, and is an alternative to gasoline. And why doesn't Tobago have any of those buses in its current fleet? Well, even though the island was promised CNG buses from the central government, there are no CNG fuel stations on the island, as yet. So the Tobago House of Assembly plans to provide 1 acre of land in the southwestern part of the island for state-owned National Petroleum Marketing Company Limited, or MP, to construct a fuel station.
We are quite willing to provide the state land. I understood they indicated that they would need about 1 acre, preferably in the southwest area. And what we would have done is to set up a committee which will meet next Tuesday at 9 a.m. at the conference room at the office of the Chief Secretary. Their mandate is to discuss and, of course, bring together all the issues, and coming out of that, to make recommendations on 3 possible sites in order of preference. And their mandate is to have that done by the 18th of August.
And the plan is quite timely, as a pipeline will also have to run from where the gas will come in at Cove directly to the station. This means it can fall right into the plans of the Southwest Development Task Force.
Going forward, we hope that with the plans being developed, we can incorporate the CNG stations that are now being planned for into the land use plan for the southwest of the island.
The hope is that the fuel station can be constructed so that Tobago can finally have CNG buses. But in the meantime, the THA is going ahead with its plan to purchase 25 new buses to be used by maxi-taxi operators, the PTSC, and the Assembly. I am Keishon Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
All the rooms here lead onto a balcony that offers a relaxing view of the beach and the lively, pleasant Prospect Corner. During vacation time, kids were busy having fun and learning new things, such as playing the steel pan and other musical instruments. All their hard work culminated in a recital that would make any parent proud.
And with this, they brought to life their camp's theme, transforming lives one note at a time. They're among over 300 students from the 15 camps at this closing ceremony, where they were able to show off their newly acquired skills to parents and coordinators who looked on with pleasure. There were also a few special persons who accompanied them, such as Len Bugsy Sharp, Tobago's own Devon Stott, The ceremony showcased their month-long training with violins, flutes, drums, and steel pans. This is just the beginning towards a bigger goal.
We have decided, let's set the foundation, let's set the stage here. Right, that's the philosophy. Enabling industry in the context of globalization. An industry called the entertainment industry. So we are setting the stage. Whether or not they gravitate towards it, that's a different story. But at least we're setting the stage.
And though we may not know if this initiative will bring forward musical prodigies, it has spiked the interest of parents and children alike.
This year I got to play guitar, and the guitar is so exciting. I love it very much.
She did very well this year. The first time she did the recorder, the second time the violin, and this time the guitar. And she loved the guitar a whole lot. And I told her anytime she brought some A+ or A, I'll buy her own guitar. And she did that. So she'll be getting her own guitar soon.
With initiatives such as these, it's hoped that the youth of Tobago are continually encouraged to pursue their musical talents and build on what they've learned. I'm Anika Springer for Let's Talk Tobago.
We're on the third floor balcony, and this painting reflects the calm of the area and the surfing at the nearby beach. You know, we may have the next Bill Gates in our midst. Youngsters had an exciting time creating programs and exploring their inner techie at a computer camp. Here's Omadara Mills with the highlights.
Building his own drawing program. That's what 14-year-old Darian Otley accomplished at this session of the Kids Code Computer Programming Camp. It's an educational element of the class that will help him realize a dream of his.
I came because to get a better advantage in learning more about technology and stuff.
In addition to this drawing app, these youngsters are using simple computer programming systems such as Scratch and MIT App Inventor to create their own games and cell phone applications. Features which 13-year-old Carrie Dillon appreciates.
I like that it's an interactive class. You get to learn different things about how they build things.
The camp is an initiative of the Division of Education, Youth Affairs and Sport. It seeks to introduce children to computer programming concepts in a fun, hands-on manner. The sessions also help them apply what they learn outside of the class.
It teaches them creative and logical thinking simultaneously. So it's, they're learning critical skills and thinking. They're learning to think about problems and solutions, and we're giving them the tools in terms of technology to actually create the solutions that they think of for problems. So we're teaching them the concepts of programming so they can see how it works, and then they'll be able to apply these ideas in real world situations.
The coordinator says that she's impressed with the response of the children to what they're learning.
They've been doing a lot outside of what I've had to tell them to do. You see children exploring on their own and adding their own twist to the instruction that I would have given them in the tutorial. So that's been happening almost from day one. So they're taking a lot of initiative on their own to really add their own things to it and play with the back end of the program.
This camp brings Tobagonians one step closer to tapping into the growing STEM field. That is, jobs which require an education in science, technology, engineering or mathematics. Why? Because many of today's products and services are evolving into technological, scientific or data-driven enterprises. The problem is there's a limited number of people working in this area. The Obama administration has committed to providing students at every level with the skills they need to excel in STEM, something the Assembly is also hoping to achieve in Tobago, starting with this camp. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
How do you turn your love for cooking into a dream job? We've got information that may help you. After the break, stay with us.
Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute invites interested persons to register for its upcoming short course programs for the July-August period. Short courses being offered are Tobago Sweets, Food Art, Formal Cake Decorating, Bartending and Mixology. Interested persons can contact the Institute at 660-2196, extension 2004 for further information. Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, committed to tourism, committed to you.
Thanks for staying with us. This is Let's Talk Tobago, and we're at Island Hoppers Inn, Restaurant and Bar. These steps leading up to the rooms are great for an early morning or evening workout that will help to keep you in tip-top shape. The right place to get started for a career in tourism is the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute. It has various training programs which can help you land your perfect hospitality job. Here's Caroline Wallace to tell you more about THTI.
This island generates most of its GDP from tourism. This means it's important that Tobagonians qualify themselves in the tourism sector. So the institute charged with that responsibility, the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, is on an awareness campaign to attract more students.
We are at the stage where we are on a recruitment campaign for students for our academic year 2015-2016.
Although the school is located on the windward side of the island, they saw it fit to create 3 booths in Scarborough, where they can engage the public.
We want to allow the public to know about the Institute, what we offer, what opportunities are available to them. Because, you know, we're up in Mount St. George, so some people are like, well, where's that or who's that? So we wanted to make our presence known in town.
Ms. Speed says they want the public to know that there aren't only associate courses available, but also short courses which run for 3 months as well as certificate programs. She says these courses are all registered with the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago.
We have a number of different courses starting off from our basic pre-qualifying program or 3-month courses in food preparation or baking and pastry. Then we have step-up programs such as 1-year certificate programs in culinary arts, baking and pastry, tour guiding.
The institute currently has 160 students, and it's hoped that this number increases by 100% for the upcoming academic year. I'm Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
An intimate evening in the jacuzzi may make your stay here complete, and we're on the 3rd floor, so don't forget the wonderful view. It was a happy ending for Laketo's enchanted performance in celebration of the Tobago Heritage Festival. We've got some of the best of what happened.
And if you want to know about Obiao,
that's the theme song for Laketo's Heritage production, and they fulfill all traditions of the village indicated in that song at their heritage production for this year, Who Have Eyes to See. The tale gave the account of a senior in the village who used witchcraft to ensure his daughter got married.
You are the one that do the robbing because you are the man. Here.
Are you sure, Mago?
Yes, come. You know that hour? This year they come here and stay aisle. Put down that.
So what to do? Throw it on the chair?
Rub and pan the chair. 3 drops. You waste some more. Maybe more people for tire.
That is 1.
Right.
1.
Good. Come, man. Make yourself at home.
Well, let me sit down here.
No. This is our special seat for you. When friends come by you, you must put them for sit down on your right hand.
All
you
right.
Sit down on the left. Them special. Sit down.
So sit down here?
Yes.
Nice boy.
When it seemed as though everything was falling into place for the family, this happened.
What happened there? I don't know what happened there. No. They said everything went all right, but like nothing go good. Well, Lillian, come darling. Come.
Come, Miss Shane.
Lillian, my dear.
Not Lillian, my dear, me. Look how I bring shame and scandal in the family. Don't mommy either. Don't mommy. Oh my God, look how I put me in there like it all people's mouth.
But their neighbor's daughter, who was also getting married, demonstrated that good always overcomes evil.
Bring some animal here. It's real, you find me, pig.
Well, yeah, we was passing by and we hear you was talking about it. So we said, let me go and look for it for you.
Are you a nice boy?
Look your dog.
You find me, doctor? Look. I never speechless. Oh, God. All come back later, right? All come for the wedding. All hear me? All right, thanks. Don't leave. Look, everything come
Yes,
back.
ma, see that.
Look. But
praise the Lord.
All they see me cow.
We tire wrong about there.
Are you tired? Oh, God. Christine, everything come back. The wedding are gone. And you come help me cook.
That wrapped up Lescato's Folk Tales and Superstitions 2015. I'm Keishon Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
When you're dining in, prepare yourself for some of the tastiest local cuisine and drinks at Island Hoppers Restaurant and Bar. Now, freedom wasn't always a right enjoyed by everyone. Colonial Tobago had slaves, but today we honor freedom for all on Emancipation Day, and Tobago had a celebration of life.
Emancipation Day celebrations took over the southwestern end of Tobago as the Tobago Heritage Festival 2-week celebrations came to a close. Tobagonians celebrated the struggles of our ancestors with a program themed Footprints, Are We Legacy?
What exactly is this freedom? What are we free from? Well, I know. I want to celebrate because the memories lingers on in my mind. It's have me soul quaking and me heart breaking as I remember. And it's true with perseverance that today we can stand here and say we are emancipated because we always knew that freedom was coming tomorrow.
Song and dance used to remind us of the fight for emancipation.
From the time you came into my life, I know you were the one, and I want to tell you I love you in my song. Sing with me, African lady, Lord.
The Tobago Heritage Festival officially ended with Emancipation Day celebrations, but the year-round experience begins.
We have moved from just 2 weeks of celebrations to actually about 4 to 5 months rather than 6. We go right up to November.
This celebration is created by the Assembly to inspire Tobagonians to live as truly emancipated people.
Good Lord, just start and drag your feet, and you must get the swing just as long as you sing.
I'm Anika Springer for Let's Talk Tobago.
Now it's time for you, our viewers, to have your say. Brown algae known as sargassum seaweed has engulfed Tobago's beaches at an enormously rapid pace. As discussed earlier in the program, the Tobago House of Assembly has determined this to be a natural disaster. So a question to you this week is, what do you think about the Tobago House of Assembly declaring the seaweed phenomenon a natural disaster? This is what you said.
I think it is a natural disaster because it's affecting the tourism. It's affecting even all sea bathers.
I don't think it's a natural disaster because it's only affecting the North Atlantic side and not the Caribbean side.
Because it's really destroying the tourism as what we have in Tobago. I think we should get rid of it and get rid of it very quickly.
It is indeed a natural disaster since it is affecting our fisherfolk with their boating as well as in certain areas of Tobago, especially in the east, where it is interfering with our tourism product.
That's all for us this week on Let's Talk Tobago. Please send us your comments or queries on anything you've seen in this program to information@tha.gov.tt, or you can even visit us at www.tha.gov.tt. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Davia Chambers, and on behalf of all of us at the Department of Information, have a safe and enjoyable week.